we need to do stop and search. Without a doubt, we need to do it. And anybody in the black community or the ethnic minority community who says we don't need to do stop and search, they're a fool amongst themselves, right? But it's not the stop and search which is the problem. It's going to be the way it's conducted.
Now, this is just you are just picking on me right
now.
No, that's what I feels like right now.
We're not. We've got a reason for doing what we're doing, okay? No, I've explained to you already. So.
I just came to get my food and that.
Cool. Where are your food? You're going to chicken cottage?
Chicken cottage, I already ordered.
Okay. What'd you order? Anything nice?
Chicken wrap.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I normally approach people how I'd want to be approached. I find the way I start talking to them, they will normally talk back to you the same way. There's loads of signs of drug use in there. There's cannabis flakes on your seat. There's a lighter that's been shoved down there, and as soon as I was walking up to you, fidgeting around with your trousers, all right? So what we're going to do, we're going to take you back up to Harlesden, all right? We're going to give you a strip search there. Just keep your hands away from there for a minute, all right? Just because we're going up there, I'm going to chuck you in handcuffs. Huh?
Can you not handcuff?
I've got, mate, if I don't handcuff you, then you can reach for everything, can't you? And then we kind of defeat the purpose. No, we'll do it back at Harlesden, mate, it'll be easier. Come on this way.
After a strip search, the man is released without charge.
If you maybe like stop a car or something, that you don't find any actual drugs, weapons or anything like that, but there's evidence that it was in there, then obviously that adds up to sort of intelligence that we can use later. So it is definitely useful for that as well, yeah, for building up a bigger picture of what's going on in the area.
The actual impact of stop and search in terms of gathering intelligence, you get very little intelligence from you upset so many more people. It's unintelligent because it actually causes a chain reaction in the community of people feeling a lot of bitterness and hatred towards the police, and then the police do not get the confidence of the community, so they don't get the support from the community, and then people put up walls of silence, and then it actually is counterproductive to crime detection and safety.
I've been stopped and searched over 20 times. If I was a witness to a crime or I knew a crime was going to happen, I wouldn't call the police. Because they will treat you as a suspect.
A lot of young black men who I speak to just are so bitter because they look around them and they see things that are impacting on their lives, and they blame a lot of it in terms of the stuff that happens with the police.
Rob patrols the area, looking for anyone who might fit the description he's been given.
Stop and search is like so useful for us. Say for example we see a gang nominal now and we were to stop him, have a chat with him, and if after talking to him we've got some grounds to search him, that search, whether we find something or not, doesn't mean it's always a negative outcome.
You've got areas like Stonebridge, Church Road, St. Raph's. It reminds me of prison, innit? And the police, they all policed each area like their prison wings. It's a small, compact area, and they just got to oppress it 24/7. Police think that everybody in those areas are of a certain mindset, when it's not the case. Everyone is just poor. If anything, that's the mindset. But not all poor people are criminals.
This is the Church End estate. That leads through to the Stonebridge estate. They are two massive rival gangs. We don't know whether he could have been about to go pick up a knife and go and stab someone from another gang. He could have been about to go and pick up some drugs to deal or something like that. So just because it's a sort of a negative result doesn't mean it's a negative outcome always with searching.
I mean, stop and search has its uses, but I don't think it's actually tackling the underlying issues when it comes to crime and community safety in Brent. I mean, we've got huge government cuts, which means, what are facilities there for young people? What is there to do, whether it's in terms of employment opportunities, training or recreational facilities? And actually, it's a bigger issue about how do we change our community? How do we actually improve the aspirations and the life chances of young people?
2 years ago, it was revealed that stop and search was a major source of discontent with policing amongst those who took part in the riots. Since then, Brent has halved its number of stop and searches. Officers complain that there's rarely time for proactive work because of the volume of 999 calls.
I don't have time in my day to randomly go out and start grabbing hold of people and put my hands in their pockets. I'm far too busy to do that. All I'm doing if I do random stops is alienating people against me, nothing else. And it's not against the police necessarily, it's against me, because I've got to work in that same area.
Trust and confidence is at the heart of policing in this country. And without that trust and confidence, the public have a right to ask questions. It's policing by consent. That's the whole model of policing in this country. You police by consent. And without that, there is no basis for policing at all.